Hi, Christine. My name's Josh, and I'm a volunteer with Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign. How are you this afternoon?
Just calling to see if we can count on your vote tomorrow in the caucus.
Making phone calls for Bernie, and it's a wonderful thing. Will you be at the caucus tomorrow?
I'm a small business owner that supports Bernie. I am having a Bernie Sanders phone banking party. It's really easy, really fun, and it feels like we have real power to help this campaign. A lot of people are first-time phone bankers here today. That's one of the key values of a phone bank party. You just open those doors up for people that don't know how to do it.
This is my first time ever doing a phone bank for any candidate.
Phone banking is really important. It's intimidating at first until you really start doing it.
The most important thing is to really be present and to respect the person you're talking to no matter what.
I can tell you that he cares about you, cares about me, cares about everybody. So I think
these calls are proven to work. We've impacted so many elections across the nation, and we need help to do more of this work.
We're generating real power. By the end of this phone bank, we'll make 500 calls or more to find out who's out there supporting Bernie. And we're also, while we're on the line, we're soliciting more volunteers. It's very powerful.
We would love some more help. Would you be willing to volunteer?
Thank you so much. Bye.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Bernie Sanders rally. We've got a little bit of news for you, and we'll start that off. This is Bernie Sanders at Poughkeepsie. Let me switch audio. I want to bring on Scott and Eric. That was a nice video about phone banking because it is the most essential thing that we do. And as Eric can tell you from the graph he was showing the other day, I mean, we're just killing it, but we need to keep going. So I'm going to turn it over to these guys. Hi, everybody. See you in chat. Thank you for waiting so long. We're here. Nice to see you all. Eric, Scott, how you guys doing today?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. You know, sorry I was only on for like 10 minutes in the morning.
Yeah, you with your responsibilities at class and shit. I mean, really.
Yep.
The mystery red cup, Scott.
Yep. This needs to be like its own little meme for the channel. Like, you never know what's in this cup because I'm never going to tell you. It could be water, it could be vodka, it could be Mountain Dew, it could be tears from children when they find out Santa isn't real. You're never going to know.
Can you just put a piece of tape on it and write liquid burn? And we'll just know that that's what it is.
Yes, I could do that.
All right, so tell me what's in the news.
Well, you know, we do have the Bernie Sanders rally coming up. That's obviously why we're live right now.
And it's a beautiful card here by Steph.
Yep.
Go. We're in Poughkeepsie. Did we get that correct?
Yeah, we got that correct.
And we have special guests, I believe.
Yep, Michael Stipe. I believe he's going to be one of the introducing speakers.
Is he an official? Is he like a Rosario Dawson type person, Scott? In this, is that what's going on? Like, are they official Sanders surrogates or?
He's not. He's probably not traveling around as much as he is, but.
Okay. Awesome. So here, let's.
Second time.
I'm sorry. What?
This will only be the second time I saw him, so it's not like he's everywhere.
This is true. Not yet.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they didn't expect that beard, though, so he might have blown his opportunity for future engagement. I see.
That's possible.
I'm joking. I don't think the Sanders campaign is that shallow. He does look pretty scruffy there, though.
He definitely does. All right, move on, guys.
Yep. So we do have an interesting article here for point of discussion. It's called Inside Bernie Sanders' Social Media Machine. Now, for those of you that have been living under a rock for the last, 9 months, 10 months, whatever, you know that Bernie Sanders has a huge social media presence. And basically, he's taken over the internet like no other campaign has before. In fact, this article directly draws contributions to Obama's 2008 campaign, And the reason Obama struggled in 2008 with, social media influence is because it was relatively new then. Nobody really understood it. But now, it's 2016. People have not only used social media, but understand how to, kind of play within the system of social media to get things like trending or get things in people's faces because it is an electronic communication medium.
Donald Trump knows how to retweet.
See, that's the beauty of social media. You either have to say something like extremely positive or extremely negative, and you're guaranteed to go just straight to the top.
Because at some point, if you're running for office, you do have to provide some substance and consistency, in your social.
Yeah, that is very true. You can't just, keep spewing crap from your mouth. I mean, again, Donald Trump is the exception to that. At some point, you do have to provide substance because that is how you win over, masses of voters. But if you just want to be an internet sensation, just be a Donald Trump.
Agreed. And I want to jump in on that just to say that the catch is that it's about trust. You can build massive amount of trust on the internet if you are honest. If you are who you say you are. If you build a persona and that persona remains consistent and true to itself, fine. If it's just you being open and transparent, fine. But when you vary, when you contradict yourself, you lose trust. No trust, no social. And that's really what it comes down to.
I would say that's absolutely true. Though I will say, though, the way Bernie Sanders has kind of like engineered this entire social media network to work for him, because you think about it, he owns Facebook, he owns Reddit, he owns YouTube, he owns Twitter, because just so many of his supporters are obviously young, and we do know how to use the technology in a much more, I would say, coherent way. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but we're a lot better in understanding and wrapping our minds around social media, so that helps drive it forward as a campaign tool. Because, in fact, Reddit, the Reddit president or Reddit CEO, I forget his name exactly, came out and said, like, yeah, Bernie is like the president of Reddit based on subreddit engagement, because his subreddit like far outweighs.
Hang on. I think we got this event happening right now.
Oh, yep. We do have some pre-speakers, so let's cut over to them.
Yeah, give me a second, guys. Sorry about this. I'm looking on it at one channel. They haven't started it on this channel.
Yikes.
Yeah.
All right.
At least we're live somewhere.
We are. One moment, we'll have that up for you. Yep. With the bonus Eric.
For far too long, the Democratic
I'm sorry about
Party
that blast of audio.
Co-opted
All right, John.
by the big
Just take your time.
Co-opted by the
did you want out?
industry.
Did you want out of the picture?
We are here tonight. Take our party back. Hillary Clinton, her State Department promoted fracking all over the world through her global shale gas initiative, pushing fracking in 30 countries worldwide. Hillary Clinton believes in fracked gas as a bridge fuel. Do we want frack gas running New York State? Do we want 30 to 40 more years of frack gas power plants across the United States? Do we want hundreds of pipelines crisscrossing everywhere in the United States, bringing frack gas everywhere across the country? There's only one candidate that is standing up against the frackers. Who is he? There is only one candidate that doesn't take money from the fossil fuel industry. Who is it? You know, it's not often that New York factors into political contests. And you may have noticed that there's this wave of information coming out of our media and out of our televisions and out of the Democratic Party establishment that is saying fracking is okay. Fracking is good. It reminds me of when, not so long ago, the Democratic Party establishment and the media was saying another thing was good, the Iraq War. I remember when we were flooded with how this was going to be just an easy and wonderful thing to do. And that's what the frackers are saying right now in New York State. Do you believe them? So neither does Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders understands that the fracking movement and the climate movement is the political revolution in America today. Bernie Sanders understands that that is the greatest threat to our country, climate change. Bernie Sanders is here to stand up with you against big oil for a better future. And that's what the frackers are saying right now in New York State. Do you believe he was also the only candidate to have the foresight to stop and protest against the Iraq War. That's why I'm with Bernie Sanders today. And you understand, this is water from across this border in Pennsylvania. This is what happens to an aquifer when you frack. This is what happens to your water when you frack. Are we good stewards of water in New York State? America has become a country of oligarchs and movements. The movement for Black Lives Matter, the movement against fracking, the movement against climate change, the movement for LGBT rights, and yes, the movement to elect the next president of the United States, Senator Bernie Sanders. Thank you.
My name's Donna. I'm the field organizer here in the Hudson Valley region. And I'm here to mobilize all of you. Look at this beautiful crowd. Come on. Yes. But first, I'm going to introduce someone who's already incredibly mobilized. This is Callie. She's a volunteer. She's been volunteering since October for Bernie Sanders.
Thank you. My name is Callie Jane, and I'm an organizer with Citizen Action of New York in Kingston. I have worked since before my 16th birthday, and I have $109,000 in student debt that I am struggling to repay. I have a loan for a car that is 2 times more than it's worth, and I have 2 children who are staring down the same path that I'm on right now. Bernie Sanders is demanding a world where we, the people, are not the victims of corporate greed, where we can work and afford a quality life. Is that too much to ask for? Where we are equal and respected for what we give to the world, and not just if we have money to line the pockets of the 1%. And where my daughters know that if they work hard, they won't be saddled with college debt. They won't be in a world that is promising to get them ahead in a world that is designed for them to fail. And I look out at all of you, and I see faces of people who have been fighting so hard for this man, who makes us feel for the first time like there is somebody on our side. The work that we are doing is so much more than electing Bernie Sanders. It is electing to change our world. And we can make this change happen.
Yes. So when I started in New Hampshire, our battle cry was one of an underdog. But now, look at us. This is really happening, and New York is in a place to bring it home for us. So please join me and Callie. Knock on doors, get on the phones. After the rally, we'll have volunteers signing you guys up for shifts, and as always, go to map.berniesanders.com to sign up for canvases. We need you in order to bring this state to Bernie. But more importantly, we need you to go out and express your love and compassion for your neighbors, because that is what this is really all about. Tell the strangers at the doors that above all else, this is a campaign for us, not any single politician. It's for me, it's for Callie, it's for you, and I love all of you. Thank you so, so much. Enjoy burning.
Well, that's a nice Bernie cover, everybody. If you haven't checked it out already, Bernie Hillary rom-com. Pretty funny. Mostly Bernie stuff. On the good side. Big thank you to Bernie Sanders Speeches and Events for providing this stream for us. So Bernie's casually late. Is this just the way a rock star is, Scott?
I guess so.
They've cut their audio, or they're switching over to something else. We're waiting for it to start, everybody. I think everybody's vamping. This has happened a few times. You may be addressing an overflow crowd. I don't know what's going on in Twitter. Has anybody seen anything to that effect? This is coming through Bernie Sanders speeches and events, and I really appreciate them grabbing this. But they've scraped it off ABC News, which it looks like their national feed, and I just got to be careful with that. But we're going to run it anyway. We've done this a couple times, haven't had a problem, but I got to make sure I keep a lower third on there at least. Which is why you saw me kind of fumbling around, because I was trying to show you some great memes going on. Stuff from Steph there, the money pack. Something he's been working on. It'll be part of the newsroom tomorrow. We talk a little bit more about the fact that Hillary's out of money. She's been doing speeches, and what she doesn't want you to read in the transcripts is probably her saying, "Look, I need to charge you a lot because I'm out of money to pay my people."
That's the Wall Street money that's in the bank. She's spending it now.
Right. Well, now, did she release her tax return? Isn't that part of the deal, or is only Bernie Sanders supposed to do that?
I think she did.
I see.
Yep.
The commercial.
Yeah, they're running the commercial, and obviously they don't have the audio jacked into that, so.
Yeah.
We're just waiting. That's a good video.
Can I just say what a bombshell it would be if Bernie Sanders released his tax returns at the debate? What a bombshell that would be.
But they said, didn't Jane say they were gonna, and didn't they already set a date? Isn't that all done and done?
I know Jane said they were gonna, but I don't think they've announced a date.
Oh. Okay, my bad.
I'm telling you, man, he's got to do it at the debate. That would be amazing.
She might be home doing it right now. He wasn't there.
That's right. She does the taxes, doesn't she?
Yeah. She wasn't at the earlier rally. I noticed he came out alone. So. She might be home doing the taxes. I did my taxes last night. Not a pretty picture.
You're one of the 99, Scott. It's to be expected. Hillary, on the other hand, and Bernie, well, he's got Jane. They should be okay.
Keyword there is should be.
Yeah.
Or words. Yeah. I can't do math today, John. My brain just ain't functioning.
I feel for you. I really do. How many out there saw the Democracy Spring with us today? It's amazing. We have like 300 people watching right now. Hi, everybody. Thank you, comment mods. I see a great conversation happening here. We're going to get back to that in just a second. Peej JJJ. Which annoying fuck are you referring to? And you can spell it out all the way. I don't think we'll block the F word.
He's talking about me.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it could be all three of us. It could be any one of us. I don't know.
All of the above.
I'll take that marker, right? I'm happy. I'm proud of that. Wife would give me that title in a heartbeat. There's the audio back. It's always better with a little background noise. Makes me feel like I'm actually at a concert because we are seeing a rock star.
Well, it's ABC. You said it was ABC, so they're probably worried about music.
Yeah, that's why they keep cutting the audio once they start playing music.
Right, absolutely. I'll tell you, frickin' Starman knocked us a couple times pretty hard. I didn't cut that audio out. I'm not sure why, but boy, they don't like that being used by anybody else but Bernie, I guess.
Yep. So I think Sean just offered me a job.
What?
No, you know Sean Porter, guy who
Yeah.
comes on regularly. He just like offered me a job.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll explain it later.
All right. Well, we could talk about it live, but that would be, a little strange.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Sean to show me what he's doing. He's got stuff going on up there in Seattle.
Yeah.
They're being secretive. Thought it was some event happening. Some music event. Is this connected to that?
I'm not sure.
All right. Yeah, we've got nice thing about it. We've got a lot of people working on side projects. We the People coming up this Thursday, and if I had my shit together, I'd tell you who it was.
I think the guy's name is William. I know it's in the schedule calendar.
It is. I'm going there to look right now.
Oh no,
everybody.
Wendell Gilliard.
There you go.
How you pronounce his last name?
And all right, well, waiting on a card from Steph. We'll be talking about that more. We the People is every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're talking with candidates who feel the burn. They're Bernie-crats. These are the what is the official term, Scott? Down ticket? Is that what they call them? Down ticket candidates?
Yeah.
Yep, because they are lower on the ballot than people like presidential candidates.
I see. Everybody. Yeah, I don't know where he is, guys. Oh, Bernie Jesus? Bernie, I can see that. Bernie Jesus. He really is. I hate to say it, but he is more like Jesus than many of the. Well, it's just I grew up Catholic. I'll just leave it there. You want to see an awesome bunch of good people. And still more than 300 of you here to look at these lower thirds. Sorry we don't have anything we're interested to talk about. What else is going on, guys? Anything news that we didn't cover? I could show an image.
I got nothing.
Nothing. Scott, tell everybody what you're doing again tomorrow. It's pretty badass. Or did he get up and run away? He ran away. Scott ditches me. Tomorrow, everybody, Scott's doing it's a concert. There's a concert in Manhattan, and I can't remember the name of the park, but there's a bunch of cool people. There's going to be bands. This is one of those special events where they have live music beforehand, and a lot of times we don't get to bring you the bands because this is being covered by like C-SPAN or a local news, and they're not interested in showing you all the fun and passion going on at a Bernie rally. They just want to show you a speech and move on. C-SPAN doesn't even cover that stuff usually, unless it's at the tail end. But we're going to have Scott there. We think everything's coordinated right. I don't want to jinx it early. We're going to have Scott there with the LU-70, and he's going to give us our own stream, and we are going to watch this concert, the whole thing, and it's got Graham Nash, so baby boomers and older folk like me who know who the hell Graham Nash is, and I guess young rock snobs who have a clue. It's Graham Nash. I don't know who else is there, but I'm sure it's a bunch of other people, and I should probably just look at the event and tell you the actual reality. Eric, you know anything else about it?
About the event? No, I got nothing. It's mostly what Scott knows.
All right. Us older folk. What we're doing.
Yes. I'm more of a Twitter guy.
I see. Here I found this. Okay, so featuring special guest Vampire Weekend, Spike Lee, Rosario Dawson, Shailene Woodley, don't know who that is, Linda Sarsour, Tim Robbins, and Graham Nash. This will be in New York City, and where does it say? At Hunters Point South Park on Monday. A lot of places. They're going to a lot of places. This one is Washington Square Park, Main Plaza, Manhattan, New York. That is where this one will be. That is tomorrow, and it's 5 o'clock my time, which is East or West Coast. So that's 8 o'clock on the West Coast.
I think it said music starts at 7.
Does it? Okay. So we will be starting probably around 3:30 Pacific, everybody. That'll be fun.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah, very excited for that. I'm excited that Scott has managed to take care of himself.
I don't know why I'm thinking you played a Crosby, Stills, and Nash song the other day, but it was Buffalo Springfield song.
You know exactly why. You know why? Because there was some people in the chat that thought that's where it came from.
Yeah.
So now you got it stuck in your head that way. And
but I was gonna say that we played Crosby, Stills, and Nash on there, but it was a Buffalo Springfield song.
Right. And why is there the connection for those of you who are unaware? What was the song, by the way?
It's actually called For What It's Worth. Those words aren't in the song anywhere. But.
Right. Everybody knows it is what? Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Or look around, or just.
Yeah.
Stop. Hey, oh, what's that sound? Everybody look at what's going down.
But did you know it had nothing to do with the anti-war movement or peace movement or anything?
Yeah.
I have forgotten that fact many times. Thank you for reminding me again. Yes.
Yeah.
We've adopted it as such, and.
But I think people adopted it as an anthem anyway. It was about the Sunset Strip riots, which had nothing to do with. It was rowdy teenagers that the neighbors didn't want out late at night, so they instituted a curfew.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we do have news about Democracy Spring.
Really now?
Okay.
Yes. I think I just lost the article. Hang on. Okay, got it. So 85 protesters were arrested today, many of them elderly, believe it or not, and that's why they brought out all the folding chairs so that those people could sit while they were being arrested.
That was something that I've never seen before, to sit in come get your chair,
Yeah, because they were planning on having like all the elderly people arrested today.
Right.
So they did that, and there was another famous arrest. So yesterday we had Cenk Uygur get arrested. Today it was Lee Camp, who is a famous elder comedian. He's the host of Redacted. Well, okay, yeah, he's not older, but he's the host of Redacted tonight on RT. So.
Yeah.
You know who else's picture I saw on that was the captain. The captain who I believe he's the guy who marched in Ferguson. He was the officer.
Yep, he was the very last person to be arrested yesterday.
There you go. That was yesterday. Okay, yesterday. Thank you. Yeah, there was a picture of that going on. As a matter of fact, we retweeted it. Called him a badass. Because he is.
Apparently everybody in chat likes my singing.
Good.
Well, not everyone. There's a few in there, but...
So if you continue to struggle with math, you know you have a second career.
Oh, geez. Well, I'm already working towards my first career as a video game designer, but yeah.
Well, keep going with this, everybody. Stephen Hawking is trending now, and that always makes me worry.
Or possibly delighted. Who knows? He could have discovered the secret to not aging.
I like this. This is on Good Morning America, so I'm going to trust mostly that it's correct. Stephen Hawking and billionaire team up on $100 million quest to find alien life. I'll just show this to you because why not? There you go. I think that's great. It's better than starting a war. Just about anything is.
Amen to that.
I hope they find one. Be embarrassed, though. Don't come here yet. We're not done. Bernie's not installed.
So yeah, in other news, my top 3 Twitter recommendations: Pope Francis, Bernie's Homie, and Bernie Universe.
As far as hashtags?
No, that's just like who's Twitter recommending I follow.
Okay.
The Pope, a Bernie group, and another Bernie group. That's great.
This image was put out a while back, and boy, is it even more poignant now. I mean, it's taken a lot more than those networks to prop her up these days. We got so many other things. The baggage is so heavy.
Yeah. Robin, you sly mofo. So Robin, one of our moderators, is saying donate to get helium for the crew.
Are we Are we
We
chipmunked?
lost our helium.
No. I don't think we're going full helium again.
Oh,
I
no,
have-
I know. Well, we lost it, that means.
We lost it.
back.
Yeah, guys, donate. Help us buy helium tanks so we can sound like chipmunks.
God, I have no idea why that was happening. I am
But hey, chat loves it. So
wonderful. I want to. The archive in history is going to be great.
maybe one day we'll figure out how to intentionally turn that on and just do an entire stream on helium.
There's an app for that, I'm sure.
Or some sort of extension.
Oh, we have audio back on again, just for fun. Something possibly happening. I love how the one difference that you can really tell a lot of times from a stream as opposed to traditional cable network is the compression, the sound of compression. It's a stream only sound. You guys know what I mean.
No moment. I can't tell if they're still. Yeah, they are still pointing at the stages. No light.
They are. It's just it's not focused as of right now. Her name is Hillary. Yes, Hillary Clinton is running out of money. That is true. I'm gonna cut over.
Maybe she'll go bankrupt and have to drop out of the race before New York.
Running out of money. She still has plenty from Wall Street.
Right. She has. There you go. Her camp. Let's be accurate and fair. Here, I'll show you the article really fast. There. See. Are Hillary's big speaking fees being used to help fund her campaign? Damn straight they are.
www.noshit.com.
Lovely. Basically, what it says is what we always knew to be true, is that she's got all sorts of super PAC money, and that's fine and dandy, but super PAC money can't be spent to pay staff. And as she builds her staff and attempts to grow her campaign across more states, she's run out of money. Now she's loaded. She's got $13 million. Can she actually use her own cash? She is using her own cash.
I'd imagine she must be using some of it.
You know, her and Bill spend a lot of money.
How many Johns are with Hillary?
What? Say that again?
Do you know how many Johns are with Hillary?
How many Johns?
I got an email saying, do you know how many Scotts are with...
Why does that matter?
Is this their new campaign? Is this their new campaign?
Yeah, you probably got how many Johns are with...
Oh my God, I gotta screenshot that. That's beautiful.
That's a money shot.
How many Johns are with Hillary? That's a great question. I doubt Bill knows.
Though I'll bet you he does know how many Monicas are with Hillary.
Probably.
I don't know.
You know who's going to know soon? You know who's going to know soon? The FBI. There's 147.
That's true.
There's 147 guys ripping that apart right now. They got a list. How many Johns are with Hillary? Well, and that could mean a lot of things, because just to funnel money to her illegally, they're going to have to come up with fake names. So we could just be talking John Does for the sake of John Does.
There'll be a list of 1 million John Does.
Absolutely. Clinton Foundation.
You didn't get the email because they were worried about what it might look like. Let's see.
Maybe. Maybe they just get sent to John's.
Send to John's.
Oh, please, somebody, if anybody out there is listening, if you did get one of these, and you are a John, screenshot it, please. That's too good. Or anyone else.
I kind of want to check my emails now, see if I got how many Erics are with the Clinton campaign.
Yeah, I want to think we've been taken off the list. Somebody might have actually gone through and filtered anything with the word
I've never donated to him. I don't know.
I've never donated to him either.
Our name got added to the list as a scraper. I don't know why. Somebody just data mined and dropped it in. So I just assumed.
I added myself to the list, but just to see what was going on. But
Bill O'Reilly, John Does, Doughs.
Oh yeah, Bill O'Reilly said he was going to move to Ireland if Bernie wins. So
True. Yeah.
Said that a long time ago.
Does anybody know when our FBI interview is? I love how it's an interview and not an interrogation, right? I don't know, but I'm sure it'll be on CNN. Chris Matthews will host, and it will be a star-studded spectacle. Yeah, and Jean Doe, absolutely. Yeah, very good. You get 0 emails from the campaign, Lisa? Do you feel left out?
To be honest, it's probably a good thing. She doesn't ask you for your dollar.
We haven't got him in a while. I think somebody did filter us out, which is sad. I really enjoyed them. Robbie really wrote nonsensical shit, and
yeah, somebody with a parody account for Bill O'Reilly, like it's even got his face and everything, is watching this. I know it's a parody account because, dear God, if the real Bill O'Reilly is watching this, well, I have many questions.
And somebody, Jay, New York, you want me to watch my tone? Absolutely, I promise. Are they running a?
Yeah, they're just running another campaign ad.
There's no audio, everybody. It's just, or at least they're not giving us any audio.
Because ABC sucks.
Yeah, they won't be around for long, will they?
I mean, unless they're playing like music right now, in which case I can imagine why they're muted.
Yes.
Well, they're playing that ad, I think.
Well, yeah, but there could be like background music going on in the arena.
And that could be, I mean, we've got a couple different points where it could be muted where I've got no control. You know, we got ABC, we've got Bernie Sanders speeches and events. He could be off making tea for himself right now, you know.
Yeah. Plus, you know, nobody's up there speaking right now, so I'm sure the chat would much rather hear jokes from us than.
Of course. Well, I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, you're right. There we go. There's our background.
Yeah, usually they play a commercial as part of the program. I see.
I know.
That's possible.
Thank you guys for putting up with our babble. It's nice to have you all here. Great conversation. Why are we doing this way? Is because it's a hell of a lot easier for us to do this than for me to bounce back and forth between shots, honestly.
Do we have any questions from chat in the comment doc?
Oh, I could probably go back to actually running the comments because I forgot about them. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, look at all those comments. We can let's do that. Here we go. Thank you, comment mods, monitors, and everybody in BTV and PRTV for all of your hard work. Believe it or not, we are a driving force. That includes the audience. Together, we are a driving force in helping Bernie Sanders win this war. It's a political revolution. This is not an election cycle. We're kicking some serious ass right now. So pat yourselves on the back and get back to work. That's my motivational speech for today. All right, dead silence is never good, guys. So somebody say something.
We do have a question from the comments. Did everyone read about how Hillary treated the woman who accused Bill of sexual abuse? Which woman? that's my first question. Bill's been accused of a lot. So if you can specify which woman, I would love to hear that. Hillary people are going to call the Pope a Bernie bro.
Nice. Jeez.
I can see that happening. But again, think about it. There are 4 other Christian candidates in this race, and the Pope invites the socialist, Jewish guy to the Vatican. Can we just think about that for a second?
Yeah.
That's
amazing. Yeah.
What, Scott?
He said he doesn't even go to temple, and he got.
Yeah. It just goes to show, how cool that is.
It is. It is. Is this the? I love this. Is this your YouTube name? Kanye West can hold this L?
Yeah.
Awesome. We never did really answer the. Oh, somebody coming up here. Oh. No, just clapping and fun. We never did answer when the FBI interview is. Anybody actually know?
There was a rumor that it was today, but nobody has been able to confirm that because, again, it's a closed investigation. Nothing is gonna, get out from that. All
right. It makes sense. Sorry, I was laughing at this. What are the polls saying, everybody?
There was a new poll out actually from New York. I believe it's
16.
Hillary 50, Bernie 41. So we've closed the gap by like 2 points. So
All
it's
right.
interesting. But again, that was a landline. That was a landline only poll. So
Of course.
and
Add 10. Just add 10, everybody. What is it when you add 10?
basically tied.
There we go. That's my formula. Fuck you, 538. My formula is add 10.
Just add 10%. I mean, to be fair, Bernie has been consistently outperforming polls in most states.
Yes, he has. Maybe not add 10, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Michigan, fucking add 25. You know.
There you go. Yeah. Ollie, you want us to do just a video chat room where all the members, like 5 at a time, would come in? I think they can do that anytime. We used to do that actually, just to hang out on air, let everybody just chat. But yeah, I don't want to manage that melee, but they can certainly go on and do that. I'm too impatient for it. Kevin Witter, does the Vatican trip help, hurt, or not affect Bernie's numbers? I don't see how it could hurt.
Especially in the Northeast.
Yeah, especially in the Northeast. There are many Catholics in the Northeast.
Is that where they are?
Yep. Well, and the South. I mean, yeah.
Well, not as many in the South.
No, yeah.
No, that's other territory. Okay, well.
But yeah, this will definitely help him in places like New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, like Maryland, those kind of states in the Northeast.
Outstanding.
How come? Oh, by the way, for those of you like freaking out about like how much he's down and stuff, here's my bit of advice: don't believe the polls, believe the enthusiasm.
There you go.
Because when Bernie's selling out arenas left and right, he's doing something right.
All right, there it is. There's our strategy. That's what our strategy here, BTV, PRTV, is believe the enthusiasm, add 10.
Add 10 to the polls.
Yep. What's going on? Your feed's being blocked. Are we blocked? Are we down? Please tell me we're not down.
No, we're looking fine.
Oh, all right. Just gotta.
Someone's freaking out. Someone just being a troll.
No,
Probably,
no,
yeah,
I've seen
probably
it on. No, Carolyn Wolf is saying, "Well, my feed is being blocked." Interesting. I don't know, and they're referencing us. Carolyn, I don't know what's going on there.
Refresh the page, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Stream's still live on my end.
Yeah, we're still good here. And hi, everybody. Damn, more than 400 of you. Thank you for joining us. Gosh, this is much. We gain audience faster when we don't show our faces. I just want everybody to know.
It's because of me. It's because I'm ugly.
There's the Bernie chants back.
And they're gone.
Oh no. Moving.
I just turned it down.
Light goes on the stage. Nope.
No. Man, what do you think's what? Yeah, no. Anybody know? Anybody out there know? We getting any confirmation of just overflow rally or anything like that?
I get the feeling the fact that he's this late could be an overflow rally.
Actually, he might be running late. It's not a short trip from Syracuse to Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
Say that 5 times fast.
I had an uncle who lived in Poughkeepsie. So
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Sorry. Why is CO is a clusterfuck now? Are you talking Colorado? Why?
Yeah. Well, just because of the reallocation of the delegates. It's not a clusterfuck. It's Bernie has 2 more delegates than he previously did. You know.
This isn't. Wait. Now people are saying this looks looped. Are we? This is ABC News. Is it looped? Are we?
No.
Gosh, I hope not.
No, you've got a point. We have seen that video more than once.
going on over here?
Oh,
I see someone walking.
There was someone on the podium, right?
I just swapped over to no. This is live on News Universe.
Okay, I saw.
All right, so
pop up.
I just popped. They're covering up ABC with their follow us on Twitter and News Universe. So both these, we got two of our buddies over here, News Universe and Bernie Sanders speeches and events. Looks like the same feed to me, guys. Loop for both?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Shit. No, it's not. We got people saying no, it's not. The overflow is overflow.
The overflow has an overflow crowd.
I understand, but they played the same commercial more than once.
That could just be them sucking at lining up commercials. I don't know.
No, something's going on here. You're right. This is
swap over to the Bernie Sanders speeches and events stream.
Here they are. Same thing. We'll refresh it. Let us know if we can find something else, guys. I hope we're not missing it. I mean, they've got 200 watching. They've each got a chat going on. 554 on Bernie speeches and events. Let me find out what's going on over there. I agree with you. It looks like a loop.
This is unusual.
Yeah.
Yep. Do we have a speaker?
Will that sound? Oh, well, maybe it's not looped. We're all just on drugs.
There's cheering. Whoa.
The costs of war on the brave women and men who come back home from duty and try to integrate themselves into society and return their lives to some semblance of normalcy. I want a candidate who understands that as well. I want a candidate who said no to the Iraq War and said no to the disastrous Patriot Act. That candidate is Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has spoken very clearly about veterans and their needs. He has addressed other issues that are important to me, such as LGBTQ rights, the environment, climate change, privacy rights, racial equality, and economic justice. His positions on these issues are consistent, common sense, compassionate, and clear. We are at the dawn of a different type of 21st century. Our actions as voters and citizens will form who we are to become, not only to ourselves and the next generation, but to all Americans. We have the profound capacity to be the great country that we imagine. But to do that, we need a caring, tough, and straight-talking leader. You know, authenticity and honesty are not qualities that we often assign to politicians in Washington, D.C. In fact, they are apparently very rare qualities. But in Bernie Sanders, we find someone who has spoken clearly and directly and has kept himself on the right side of history at virtually every turn since he's been in the public eye. He is trustworthy, and he not only deserves our trust, he deserves our vote. There's a revolution at hand. My goddaughter is here tonight, 18 years old, excited to vote for her very first time in the primary, her very first time ever in the primary on April 19th, and then in the election come November. She's thrilled to join all of us here in voting Bernie Sanders into office. This is just the beginning. But this is a pivotal moment for us all. In order for the people to be heard, the people have to speak up. This is our moment. It will take every one of us standing together on April 19th and beyond to make this happen. I really want, and I think you really want, for this change to come with the leadership of Bernie Sanders. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the next President of the United States, Bernie Sanders.
Thank you all very much. This is an incredible turnout. And let me apologize to the few thousand people who couldn't get into the room here. Let me thank Jared Rice, Father Richard Mort, Kelly Peaks, Josh Fox, Donna Waterman, Callie Jane, and Michael Stipe. And Michael just reminded us all that this is our time. Let's not blow it. This is not just a moment to elect a new president, it is a moment to transform America. A few hours ago, I had the wonderful opportunity to visit the Franklin Delano Roosevelt homestead. And I was happy to be there because, in my view, FDR was one of the great presidents in the history of this country. He was a great president because he came into office in 1933 in a nation which was experiencing the worst depression in the history of our country, and he looked around him and he saw millions of people unemployed and hungry. He saw farmers losing their farms. He saw people struggling every single day to get the health care they needed or education for their kids. And he came forward and he said, you know what? We are going to transform the way government works in America. And that is what he did. Before his becoming president, the general culture was, well, it is too bad that people sleep out on the street, or that people are hungry, or people die because they don't have access to health care. But it is not the government's responsibility to do anything about that. And he said, wrong. In a democratic, civilized society, we will do something about that. And he put together a number of programs which created many millions of jobs for people who needed those jobs. In 1944, in a speech which sadly has gotten very little attention, it was his State of the Union speech in 1944, President Roosevelt outlined what he called a second Bill of Rights. This is one of the most important speeches ever made by a president, in my view. In that remarkable speech, this is what Roosevelt stated, and I quote, "We have come to a clear realization of the fact that true individual freedom cannot exist without economic security and independence." Now, think about it for a second, because that is a very profound thought. And what he said is, if people are working at 2 or 3 jobs, if people do not have adequate access to health care, if people are not able to get the education that they need. If people are living in poverty, are they really free people? There have been a number of studies, I don't know if you have seen them, that have come out recently which have shown that low-income people have a life expectancy significantly lower than wealthy people. In other words, poverty is a death sentence. A couple of years ago, I held a hearing in the Senate, and it was a remarkable hearing. We had a number of physicians and scientists on the panel, and one of the doctors said, you know what exists when you're poor? There is a physiology of poverty. You know what that means? Physiology of poverty. It means when you wake up in the morning and you don't know how you're going to feed your kids, you don't know how you're going to get access to health care, that stress alone wreaks havoc on your body. And it is easy to forget, because this is not something the media talks about all that often, but it is easy to forget that today throughout our country there are millions of people struggling hard just to put food on the table, to pay their light bills, to get gas money, to get fuel for their cars so they can get to work. There are mothers who wake up in the morning desperately trying to find quality, affordable child care. In that speech in 1944, Roosevelt described the economic rights that he believed that every American was entitled to. And this is pretty radical stuff. He said that the American people, as a right, were entitled to a decent job at decent pay. Remember what he was talking about here, and this is what is profound, is a right. A right, what we are entitled to as members of a civilized democratic society. The right to adequate food, clothing, and time off from work. Think for a moment about that expression, time off from work. 100 years ago, some of you may have read or seen pictures of, workers were involved in large demonstrations, and they held up these huge placards, and the placards said, "We are not beasts of burden. We are human beings. We do not want to work 60 or 70 hours a week. We want the 40-hour work week." That was 100 years ago, and you know what? We still have not achieved a 40-hour work week for most Americans. We do not have to accept the reality of today that people are working 2 or 3 jobs just to bring in enough income and health care to take care of their families. We do not have to accept the truth and the reality that our people today are working the longest hours of any people in the industrialized world. Japanese are hard workers. We now work longer hours than do the people of Japan. We have got to fight for a nation in which people can earn enough income without having to work 50, 60, or 70 hours a week. Roosevelt was right back in 1944, and we have still not achieved that goal. And this is what he also said. He said that Americans have the right for every business, large and small, to function in an atmosphere free from unfair competition and domination by monopolies. Today, on Wall Street alone, the 6 largest financial institutions have assets of over $10 trillion, equivalent to 58% of the GDP of the United States of America. The 6 largest financial institutions issue 2/3 of the credit cards and 1/3 of the mortgages. FDR wanted to see a nation free of monopoly control, free of outrageous concentration of wealth and power. He gave that speech in 1944. We still have not achieved that goal. And what we have got to understand, and what Roosevelt reminded us of, is that people are not truly free when they are unable to feed their families. People are not truly free when they are unable to retire with dignity. People are not truly free when they are unemployed or underpaid, or when they are exhausted by working longer and longer hours. People are not truly free when they have no health care. What this campaign is about is not just electing a new president, and by the way, that's important too. But what this campaign is about is not just electing a new president, it is about transforming America. And let me tell you what no other candidate for president will tell you, and that is no president, not Bernie Sanders or anybody else, can do it alone. And the reason for that is the people who control our economic and political life are so powerful. And I'm talking about Wall Street with endless supplies of money, corporate America, the corporate media, the wealthy campaign contributors. These people have so much power that the only way we take them on and transform this country is when millions of people stand up, fight back, and demand an economy. That is what the political revolution is about. Democracy is not a spectator sport. What the establishment and the media essentially want you to believe is that we really cannot change the status quo. Oh yes, we could do a little bit here, we could do some incremental stuff over there, but the real message to you from the corporate media and from most politicians is that you're powerless. There's nothing you can do. They got the money, they have the power, they have the media, and you can sit and watch what they do, but there's nothing that you can do. Well, this campaign has a somewhat different perspective. This campaign is saying that each and every one of you and every American are enormously powerful people if you choose to exercise that power. Let me give you a short lesson in American history which has impacted my thinking. 100 years ago or so, workers in this country had virtually no rights at all. They were forced to work at times 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. They could be fired arbitrarily. Their pay was determined by the whims of their employer. And workers said, you know what? We are human beings. We want to be treated with dignity. We're going to form unions. Hundreds of years ago, the African American community and their allies understood that America could not maintain a system based on racism, segregation, and bigotry. We will never know how many men and women died in the struggle for civil rights, how many were jailed, how many were beaten. But millions of people over the years stood up and fought back. 100 years ago, no time at all from an historical perspective, women in America did not have the right to vote, to get the education they wanted, or the work they wanted to do. And they were told, hey, a woman's function in life is to stay home and have babies. You're not smart enough. That's what they were told. And we laughed. That was 100 years ago. But women and their male allies said, sorry, we don't accept that. Fought back and said, we will not be second-class citizens. If we were here 10 years ago, which is no time at all from an historical perspective, somebody would have jumped up and say, you know, Bernie, I think that by the year 2015, gay marriage will be legal in 50 states in our country. person next to him or her would have said, gay marriage legal in 50 states? You're crazy. It cannot happen. But because of the strong activism of the gay community and their straight allies, who said loudly and clearly that in America, people should have the right to love whoever they wanted, regardless of gender. Gay marriage was made legal by a very conservative Supreme Court because the American people told them that was the right thing to do. If we were here in this room 5 years ago, somebody jumps up and they say, Bernie, you know, this $7.25 an hour federal minimum wage is a starvation wage. We have to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. The person next to her would have said, you're crazy. $15? You want to more than double the minimum wage? What are you thinking about? You got to be more incremental, maybe $8. All right, $9, I'll give you that. But $15 an hour, that's impossible. You want to more than double federal minimum wage. But what happened is that people in the fast food industry showed incredible courage. They worked at McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's and all the rest. They went out on strike and they said to the world, we can't live on $7.25 an hour. And with justice on their side, with righteousness on their side, the people of America heard their pain. And what happened then is a few years ago in Seattle, $15 an hour. Los Angeles, San Francisco, $15 an hour. Oregon, California, New York, $15 an hour. Now, why have I bored you with this short historical lesson? And the reason is to show you that when people stand up and fight back, change can and does happen. All over this country today, from coast to coast, people are looking at the status quo. And they are beginning to realize that not only is the status quo not working for ordinary Americans, they recognize that the status quo has got to change, and that change will not come about through establishment politics and economics. Now, my opponent, Secretary Clinton, she has several super PACs. She has raised, in one of her super PACs, $15 million from Wall Street alone. And the American people are catching on to the fact that you cannot take millions of dollars from the wealthiest and most powerful people in this country and then claim to be an agent of change. Our job is to take these powerful special interests, take them on, not take their money. When we began our campaign over 11 months ago, we had to make a very fundamental political decision. And that decision was, should we do what every other campaign was doing and establish a super PAC? That's exactly what we thought. We understood that we do not represent the interests of Wall Street, the drug companies, the fossil fuel industry, the billionaire class. We don't represent their interest. We don't want their money. And then what happened was really quite unbelievable to me, and was certainly one of the most amazing things that I've ever experienced in my life. What we said to the American people, look, if you want a candidate who's going to take on the big money interest and fight for the middle class, we need your help. Over the last 11 plus months, our campaign has received over 6 million individual campaign contributions. That is more individual contributions than any candidate in the history of our country at this point in the campaign. Anyone know what the average contribution is? I love that. I don't know why. I always love to hear that. And what that is about, and I want you to realize how significant that is. What it shows is that if you have an agenda and a willingness to take on the big money interest, the American people will be there for you. And we are showing that we can run a winning national campaign without powerful special interest money. Secretary Clinton has chosen another route in terms of how she raises her money. She has several super PACs, and in the last filing report, her largest super PAC reported raising $25 million from special interest, including $15 million from Wall Street. Then on top of that, as you may know, Secretary Clinton over the years has given a lot of speeches on Wall Street and to other powerful special interests. She spoke to Goldman Sachs on more than one occasion and received $225,000 a speech. Now, What I think is if you get paid $225,000 for a speech, must be a pretty great speech, don't you think? I can't think of any other reason why they would pay you for that. Must be a speech which resolves many of the great international crises that we face. Must be an enlightening speech which clarifies the crises facing our planet. Must be a speech given in Shakespearean prose. So I say that if that speech is so extraordinary and so significant, it should be released to all of the people. Now, Secretary Clinton has said, well, she is prepared to release the transcripts if other candidates do the same. So are you all ready for a dramatic announcement? All right, here it comes. I am announcing tonight that I am prepared to release all of the transcripts of all of the speeches that I gave to Wall Street. Now you all know that I'm being a little bit silly here. Because there were no speeches to Wall Street, there are no transcripts. But, you know, I am forever hopeful. My cell phone is on, and I am awaiting a call from Goldman Sachs or one of the other Wall Street firms. I'm awaiting an invitation. I will tell them, I don't want $250,000. I don't want $2,000, I don't want $2. But I would like to be able to tell them, face to face, that their greed, their recklessness, and their illegal behavior has done incalculable harm to the people of our country. Tell them that at a time when 3 out of the 4 largest banks in this country are bigger than they were when we bailed them out because they were too big to fail, that now is the time to break them up. Some of you may have noticed, just yesterday I think it was, there was the final agreement between the federal government and Goldman Sachs for a $5 billion settlement. And what Goldman Sachs, and they're not the only bank to have reached the settlement with the government, but what Goldman Sachs essentially acknowledged is they were selling worthless packages of subprime mortgage loans and defrauding the American people. Now, I want you to realize the significance of this, because this is not just Goldman Sachs, this is virtually all of the major banks. The most powerful financial entities in this country, their entire business is based on fraud. That is scary stuff. But here's the other thing that is, I think, really unsettling to the American people. If some kid in New York State today gets arrested for possession of marijuana, that kid will have a criminal record for his entire life. But apparently, if you are an executive at a large Wall Street firm whose greed and illegal behavior destroyed our economy and impacted the lives of millions, you don't get a criminal record, you get a pay raise. So I tell the people on Wall Street, we will bring justice back to the criminal justice system. This campaign is succeeding because we're listening to the American people, not just the wealthy campaign contributors. We are listening to workers who cannot make it on $8 or $9 an hour, which is why we are going to fight for a $15 an hour national minimum wage. Now, you don't hear much about this from the media, but the truth is that throughout our country, in my state of Vermont, here in New York, all over America, you got millions of seniors trying to make it on $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 a year Social Security. And I want you to think about that, because nobody can make it. Not seniors, not people with disabilities, not disabled veterans, on $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 a year Social Security. What my Republican colleagues in the Senate want to do, unbelievably, is cut Social Security. We are not going to cut Social Security. We're going to expand Social Security benefits. You know, and this is what FDR reminded us of. A great nation is judged not by how many millionaires and billionaires it has, but by how it treats the weakest and most vulnerable amongst us. That means we will not continue to allow veterans of this country to sleep out on the streets. Or senior citizens to cut their pills in half because they cannot afford the medicine they need. This campaign is listening to young people. And what young people are saying is, how does it happen when we did the right thing, when we went out and got the best education that we could, that we're ending up $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 in debt? If you take a deep breath and you think outside of the box, ask yourselves, why would we be punishing millions of people for getting an education. We should be rewarding people, not punishing them. Today, in many respects, a college degree is the equivalent of what a high school degree was 50 years ago. All right? Do you know what I mean by that? What I mean is that 50 years ago, you got a high school degree, you were in pretty good shape. You can go out, get a good job. Today, in many respects, that's what you need to do if you have, and that's why you need a college degree. That's where the good jobs are. And that is why I believe that in the year 2016, we have got to rethink what we mean by public education. It is no longer... It is no longer good enough to conceive of public education as first grade through 12th grade. We need to make public colleges and universities tuition free. Now, some people think this is a radical idea. It is not a radical idea. Mark my words, it will happen sooner or later. Our job is to make it happen sooner. Most of you know that free public education exists in Germany, it exists in Scandinavia, and in other countries around the world. What you may not know is that here in the United States, 50 years ago, the great public universities and colleges were virtually tuition free. If we could do it here 50 years ago, we could do it today. And then people say, well, Bernie, you're Santa Claus, you're giving out all of this free stuff, how are you going to pay for it? I will tell you how we are going to pay for it. We're going to impose a tax on Wall Street speculation. When Wall Street's greed nearly destroyed our economy, Congress bailed them out. Now it is time for Wall Street to help the working families of this country. This campaign is listening to the African American community. Criminal justice system that must be reformed. They are tired, I am tired, you are tired of seeing unarmed people shot and killed by police officers. Now, I have been a mayor for 8 years in Burlington, Vermont. I work closely with police officers there and police officers all across this country. The vast majority of police officers in this country are honest and hardworking people doing a very difficult job. But like any other public official, when a police officer breaks the law, that officer must be held accountable. This campaign is listening to the Latino community. There are 11 million undocumented people in this country. Many of them are being exploited every day because they have no legal protections. Many of them are living in fear and living in the shadows. Together, we must pass comprehensive immigration reform and a path toward citizenship. This campaign is listening to people whose pain is very rarely heard, and that is the Native American community. Everybody here knows that even before we became a nation, when the first settlers came here, the Native Americans were lied to, they were cheated, and the treaties that were negotiated were often broken. This country owes the Native American people a debt of gratitude that can never be repaid. Among many other things, they have taught us that we are part of nature, that we must live as a part of nature, and that if we destroy nature, our species will not survive. Of the U.S. Senate Committee on the Environment. I've talked to scientists all over the world. Climate change is real. We have a moral responsibility to make certain that the planet we leave to our children and grandchildren is a planet that is healthy and habitable. And that is why we will take on the fossil fuel industry. We will transform our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. I have been criticized throughout this campaign for saying something, so I will say it again. In my view, health care is a right of all people, not a privilege. The Affordable Care Act has done a lot of good things, but we must go beyond the Affordable Care Act. When 29 million Americans have no health insurance, even more are underinsured with large copayments and deductibles. When we are getting ripped off every day by the drug companies who charge us the highest prices in the world. We need to move toward a Medicare for all single-payer program. Let me assure you of something that I know makes millions of Americans very nervous, and that is Donald Trump will not become president of the United States. Become president because every national poll has me beating him by double digits. He will not become president because the American people will not support a candidate who insults Mexicans and Latinos. Who insults Muslims, who insults women, who insults veterans, who insults the African American community. The American people understand that we are a great nation because of our diversity. Because we come together as one people, regardless of our race or religion or country of origin. The American people understand that coming together always trumps dividing us up. The American people understand that we are great when we support each other. That I am there when your family has a need, you are there when my family has a need. And that supporting each other always trumps selfishness. The American people understand very deeply what every major religion on earth has told us, whether it is Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, whatever. And what they have all taught in common language is that at the end of the day, love trumps hatred. Stipe said in introducing me, this is our moment. This is the moment in which we can transform America. A week from today, there will be an enormously important primary here in New York State. What I have learned in this campaign is that when there is a large voter turnout, we win. When there's a low voter turnout, we lose. Next Tuesday, let us see the largest voter turnout in New York State history. Thank you all very much.
Well, that was awesome, everybody. Bernie Sanders live from Poughkeepsie, New York, with Michael Stipe, opening address. And what a fantastic evening. What a great stream. Bernie Sanders speeches and events, and my guess is they were picking it up from this other live stream feed, and I don't even know what it was called. It was just, I've never seen it before. It was fantastic. The 3 camera angles, I have no idea who actually brought this, but fantastic. Thank you, Bernie Sanders speeches and events. Thank you to LiveView and the LiveView solo unit, which we will see in action tomorrow with Scott. I don't know if we have these guys back. Scott, Eric, you guys around? You hanging out? You paying attention to comments?
Yeah, I'm here. I was doing comment moderation.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Look at that. That's a great crowd. That's
a huge crowd.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not sure on the exact number, but that does look like a pretty big crowd.
And beautiful camera. He's typing stuff on there. Yeah, we'll get out of there. Nice camera work, though, gotta say.
Yep. Indeed.
So any breaking news while we were watching that?
Well, in terms of breaking news, no. But, it's just kind of all the usual stuff. Tomorrow we do have a rally in Washington Square Park. That is the big one that Bernie has promised. It's supposed to hold, I believe, 20,000 people. So, yeah, that's going to be cool to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. Very excited about that. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us. It's been quite a day. Democracy Spring in the morning with the newsroom. I didn't even get a chance to tell everybody what the actual theme of the morning was, which was the Star Trek Mirror Mirror. Go back and watch it if you haven't had a chance. It really ended up being a Democracy Spring newsroom, Bernie Sanders rally, all packed into one long morning. And it was actually pretty awesome. It was Bernie Sanders at Syracuse. And then we just finish this one. Tomorrow morning will be newsroom, Democracy Spring, smashed together in some beautiful array of patriotic taking back our governmentness. And then we'll move on to a Bernie Sanders rally. When did you say that one was, the big one tomorrow?
It's in Washington Square Park. I'm not sure what time it is. I believe it's 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, yes, it is. Thank you. Absolutely, that's right. At Washington Square Park, 7 p.m. Eastern. LiveView are the LiveView unit that you guys crowdfunded. That's what Scott's going to be using tomorrow. We're really excited about that. And thank you guys. Yeah, thank you all for being here, especially the comment mods. Eric, Bad, Duco, Aniko, I don't even know who else does it. Kara, there's so many people. I'm just going to not remember everybody's
There's so
name.
many.
I understand that one of the most beautiful things that has come out of Bernie Sanders have been the volunteer groups. So many volunteer groups that are doing incredible work. This one in particular, though, I'm like blown away by. Nobody really knows, except for me and maybe a few other people who've kind of looked at all of it from the beginning, just how incredibly gorgeous and beautiful it is. And I hope someday I can tell that story to you guys, so you know just how much hard work and how many people are doing that hard work every day. This This place functions like a real media network. It may not look like it on the front side, but it is an amazing group of people that do research and pull stories. Sometimes we beat the news to fucking stories. It's been incredible. Anyway, I'm bragging about the people because I can. Damn it, I can. That's what I get to do, and because I'm really tired and it's late, and we gotta go. I did have something picked for an ending. Thank you all for being here. The audience, you guys, the conversation that we have is what makes this the best conversation on the net. That's what we're here for. This is mellow. At least I thought it was mellow. It's called Wilted by the DWP, inspired by Bernie Sanders. We're going to run this out because it's another piece of cool music, and hopefully it won't smack us for anything. I don't think it will. As a matter of fact, I saw the artist say, use this, blah, blah, blah. So we should be okay. The FBI doesn't want Hillary? Why are we saying that? I'm sorry, I just picked it up. Really? I think they do. I know 147 agents do. But there was that. We'll get into that tomorrow. We'll talk about more of that tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you haven't seen it, I got to show you this. I loaded it in before we go, because the cover is coming tomorrow. But Steph, in honor of At Midnight, Bernie Hillary rom-coms, The Money Pack. Hillary and David Brock there in their money pit of a campaign, because it really doesn't matter how much super PAC money they raise. They don't have enough money to pay for their actual staff. That is what the problem is. The Yahoo News article came out about that, and we're delighted to hear that that's what's going on. But I thought Steph was just a badass for pulling that together so fast. All right.
Not to mention, we've outraised them by $6 million.
Yeah, outraised them. It just must know which song. Yeah, it's Wilted. All right, we're getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much. Love you all. Feel the burn. See you in the morning.
Extremely exciting and bewildering, all the false hopes you've given me, and please don't leave me wilted and withering, while all the businessmen make off with the dividends. Hey, please, I need a little change. I've been washed away inside of one little mistake, I guess that's all it takes. Be paying for the rest of my day. Extremely exciting and overwhelmed. We come apart at the seams we're no longer ourselves. And please don't leave me wilted and withering, while all the businessmen make off with the dividends. And please don't leave me alone in a land of liberty. Pave the streets with gold, but the gutters run deep with the stench of death and poverty. Hey, please, I need a little change. I've been washed away inside of watery grave. One little mistake, I guess that's all it takes. Be paying for the rest of my day.
Huge